with so many more dogs, I think dog waste, all of a sudden, since I'm become like the dog poop lady, um, super cool. But there's so much more awareness around the damage that it is doing in the environment when not dealt with. So I feel like the Dooloop is timely for that reason.
Hi, I'm Tori Mystic, and you're listening to the Wear, Wag, Repeat podcast, the only show dedicated to supporting women in all areas of the pet industry. In this episode, I am talking with Beth Herriman, the inventor of Dooloop. Discover how Beth's experience of fostering two traumatized Bassett hounds led her to create the Dooloop, a handy leash accessory designed to give you a helping hand while walking the dogs and picking up after them. Beth shares why she prioritizes sustainability and local job creation in the manufacturing process of her eco-friendly products made from recycled plastic. In our conversation, we also talk about the importance of picking up dog poop in a way that doesn't piss off your neighbors and the impact of pet waste on the environment. Beth's story highlights the impact that one woman can make on the dog world with a sustainably made invention that helps with an issue that we all face: dog poop. But before I hit play on this interview, I need to take a moment to brag about 4 exceptional pet pros I've been working with for the past 2 months. You might remember hearing about the first ever course creator mastermind I launched back in March. It has been a fast-paced program to help pet pros create their very first online course. And guess what? Everyone is ready for me to announce their courses right on schedule. I am so proud. Well, actually, I'm jumping the gun a little bit because I told everyone that I would share their courses with my audience on June 1st, but I just had to include this in today's podcast episode, so consider it an exclusive sneak preview. Like I said, I am so proud of everyone who participated in this program, and I'm beyond impressed with the courses they created. Are you ready to hear about them? Okay, I will start with 2 for pet parents, and then I'm going to tell you about 2 designed for pet pros to help you grow your business. The links to all of these will be in the show notes for this episode, and I will be sending out a big email to my entire list tomorrow with all the links and more information, so make sure that you're on my email list too. First up is a course for current and aspiring therapy dog teams. Are you ready to strengthen your bond with your therapy dog while enhancing your impact in the field? Check out Life Skills for Therapy Dog Teams. It's an online course by Sherry Rohde, a certified animal-assisted intervention specialist and pro dog trainer. In this 10-week program, you'll learn to approach therapy dog sessions with calm, confidence, and resilience, creating a fulfilling journey for both you and your dog. Sherry also hosts the podcast Therapy Dog Talk, which you might be familiar with. Next up, discover the keys to fostering a safe and positive interaction between children and dogs with a course by Melanie Sanpietro of Wonder Pups. In her course, Wag to Growl, you'll dive deep into dog body language, bite prevention, and creating a safe environment with simplified videos that even kids can watch and learn from, making this the perfect resource for families looking to live a peaceful life amongst their furry friends at home and out in the world. I'm really excited about that course. I think it's going to make such an impact on so many lives. Now for the 2 courses designed exclusively for pet professionals. If you are looking to expand your dog walking or pet sitting business, but you're overwhelmed by the idea of hiring, you need to check out the Positive Hiring course, a comprehensive course created by award-winning pet care entrepreneur Doug Keeling, who you might know as Doug the Dog Guy. In this course, Doug shares lessons from his decade-long journey managing a thriving team, so you too can build your dream pet care team and take back your life. The fourth course that was created during this mastermind program is for positive reinforcement dog trainers looking to boost their dog training business through the power of social media. Social Videos Unleashed by Tiffany Chen of Pawsistant is designed to make social video content easy. This course offers in-depth guidance on creating and leveraging short-form videos to reach a broader audience, attract more clients, and grow your dog training business. Take advantage of early enrollment and get a free Instagram audit as a limited time offer from Tiffany. Don't all four of these courses sound amazing? I have been helping out behind the scenes through the whole process, so I can tell you how much care each of these pet pros is putting into their materials and how comprehensive every program is. I can't wait to see who enrolls and hear what you think. Again, all the links are going to be in the show notes for this episode. Plus, keep an eye out for a special email about these courses tomorrow. That will go out to my whole list. So make sure you are on the Wear, Wag, Repeat email list. Now, I am excited to share this interview with Beth from Dooloop. She is such a cool, fun person to talk to. We even touch on Legally Blonde a little bit and maybe a potential TikTok dance challenge that Beth might be launching soon. So definitely check that out and enjoy this conversation. Beth Herriman is the founder and creator of Dooloop. She came to inventing and business later in life after working hard as a stay-at-home mom to 3 now grown kids and many pets over the years. Coming from a background in fashion design, she never dreamed of working in the dog poop industry. But being a mom for so many years makes problem-solving second nature for Beth. Hi, Beth. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Terry. Nice to be here.
I'm excited to talk to you about the Dooloop because I've seen the Dooloop around, and this is a big issue for people. I think once you have a contraption to hold your poop bags, your full poop bags, you can never go back to not having that. So it's one of the first things I recommend to anyone who's getting a new dog or who's had a dog for years and doesn't have one. So for those of my listeners who are listening and don't know what a Dooloop is, can you kind of tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, the Dooloop is a little leash accessory that you put. It's very lightweight and it's made out of recycled plastic, and you hang it on your leash handle so that it's close at hand. And it only takes one hand, and it's shaped like a little dog head. And then it has like a channel, since we're not showing you anything. And basically you just push the bag through and pull it down. And I kind of joke, but it's true. It holds a lot of shit. And you don't even have to knot the bag. And the reason that, it's a game changer is that it came out of needing leash control, not out of poop.
Oh.
Yeah.
Tell us more about that.
Well, we had offered to basically foster 2 Bassett hounds that came to us totally traumatized, and we don't have a fenced yard. So we had to put them on leash, and they'd never walked before on leash. And so both ladies were wrapping my legs and trying to run away the whole time. And if I dropped a leash, they would have taken off. And both of Bassett's on adrenaline are super fast. And embarrassingly, I really couldn't catch them. So I needed a third hand because they also pooped a lot. And so I needed something quick that I could hold on to 2 leashes and a bag and get the bags out of my hand. So it came out of leash management, really.
Oh, interesting. Well, and I didn't realize you don't even need to knot the bag. I never realized that.
I didn't either. My husband figured it out. It's always the boys, I feel like, who
They want the shortcuts.
They want the shortcut. I know. My husband's like, you don't even have to knot. I was like, really? And he's like, yeah, you just pull it through snugly. And some people will reuse a bag if they've got a delicate type poop and they want to conserve bags. So it's good for a lot of reasons, to not have to be able to knot it.
Yeah. Or sometimes you don't realize it's your last bag, but you still have a lot of walk left to do. And
exactly.
You're in a risky position.
Exactly. There are a whole lot of reasons that not knotting the bag is a very handy thing to not have to do. No pun intended.
Yeah. Right. Well, yeah. And having multiple dogs, like you said, it is, it's like a juggling act, holding all the different leashes. So that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, like I said, it was kind of a Hail Mary for my sanity because we had these two dogs, and every time I would take them for a walk, I would just be a total stress ball. And that's not fun. And it was a foster, and I'm like, I can't do this. This is just nuts. And of course, they were so sad and darling. We couldn't also. So anyway, it all worked out.
So when you came up with this idea, what did the initial prototype look like?
It was like a 4 a.m. thing. You know how you have your best thoughts when you're not thinking, and you know what you need, but you don't know what it looks like. So I went to a local hardware store with a lot of SKUs actually, and just walked really slowly up and down the aisles looking for an idea, looking for a spark. And it came in the form of a potato masher of all things. And then I went home and I had some plastic stuff that I'd ordered, and I just started playing around and came up with my first Dooloops. And I had all kinds of shapes, but I know it was kind of funny. So I sent some to friends. And so I thought I'd just maybe sell them at fairs or something like this, but each one took me by hand 5+ minutes to make. And they were kind of, when I look at them now, at the time I thought they were really quite wonderful, but now I look at them and like, wow.
They're a little bit wonky.
Yeah. Super wonky. But yeah. So yeah, potato masher.
So did you actually sell at some fairs and festivals, or did you kind of just skip that because you realized it was not worth it?
Yes. I skipped it because it wasn't worth it. It was like when I used to make piñatas for my kids when we lived abroad and you couldn't buy one. It was and I would be making roughly 5 cents an hour. You know what I mean? So yeah, it wasn't, but I sent him to enough friends and things like that they were like, yeah, I think you should make this. And so I actually contacted a local industrial designer and who understood the purpose right away and refined the design to what it is now. And I think his name's Patrick Santerre, and he's in Portland, Maine. And he just did such a nice job and introduced me to Gary the molder, who's in Kennebunk, who makes it. So it just became this very local community business project, which has been fun.
Are they still made in Maine?
Oh, yeah, totally.
Oh.
And yeah, I make them with recycled plastic, and they're made in Kennebunk. And then the tags that they come on are printed up in Augusta. And then I have people do assembly with the ball chains. Those are made in New York, but I do assembly and I pay a living wage for that. I spent hours and hours testing myself with a glass of wine and crappy TV, trying to figure out how long it would take to do it. So I would tell my husband is I know it looks like I'm not doing anything watching the Real Housewives, but I'm working.
This is an important task.
This is an important test. Exactly. So anyway, yeah.
And I'm sure it's come up and people have asked you this, but why have you not moved overseas? Because that seems to be what everyone, their first thing is oh, you have to get this made overseas.
Absolutely. The first time I took it, it was actually Super Zoo, and I had a booth And I'd never even been to a trade show before. So it was like really jumping into the deep end. And everybody was like, you should get them made in China, or we can make them and I was like, I don't want to. I can make them. Maine needs jobs. We could still make them here, which everybody looks at them and assumes that they're made in China. But, they retail for basically roughly 10 or below. And, so I can create jobs that actually pay, do it with a nice material because we don't need more plastic in the world, and no single-use plastic packaging. And it's still freaking affordable. So it's like, anyway, I just felt like that was important at this time. We don't need everything is cheap and fast all the time. As they say, you don't need the biggest piece of pie. You just need to make a bigger pie. So that's my hope with these.
Well, and the pet industry is a very big pie, and people keep getting more and more dogs, especially the last few years. So what have you kind of witnessed in the past couple of years? How has your business had to change, and has it been affected by COVID and just all of the kind of the snowball effect of all the different things that impacted? I think that anyone who was having stuff made overseas, it was impossible for them to get their goods. So maybe it was a huge advantage for you to be manufacturing in Maine.
Yeah, I feel like it's their values basically that are important to people, as like we're all exactly when you couldn't get stuff from China, and things were delayed in ports and stuff. And I feel like we have to be, there's nothing wrong with, being a global community, but I feel like there's value also in making things at home when you can. And, just the carbon footprint and everything around it. And I think what's funny is with so many more dogs, I think dog waste, all of a sudden, since I'm become like the dog poop lady, super cool, is that, and I get Google alerts for dog poop, like you do. And but there's so much more awareness around the damage that it is doing in the environment when not dealt with. So I feel like the Dooloop is timely for that reason too. I just got contacted by a water district in Washington State, and I've been contacted by those in Colorado too, because the dog poop degrades and it seeps into these water tables, which is not good for any of us. And also some parks and stuff where people won't pick it up along the paths and it changes the soil, which is another huge pollutant. And then, of course, the gross factor and, wildlife and other dogs getting sick from it. So, and then actually, which isn't funny, but it's like, but people like getting annoyed with their neighbors and stuff like that by putting in their trash cans, and people like actually getting into fights about dog poop, which seems, it's like everybody needs to take a beat about that. But
yeah. Well, it seems like maybe you have a good answer for this, but and I'll be the first to admit that years ago, walking with my dogs in the woods, I was like, well, they're going to poop in the woods. The deer poop in the woods. The whatever other animals are out here all pooping in the woods. What's the difference? But now I know better, and so maybe you can speak on this a little bit. Is why is it different? Like, why does it matter to pick up your dog poop even if it's in the woods?
Yeah, or on your own property. I know. I thought the same thing, because you'd see a bag like dropped and you're like, if you're just going to leave it, like, just let it go. But no, because the deer, they say, does a bear poop in the woods? Well, yeah, but the bear also eats what is available in the woods, and deer poop in the woods, but they eat what's available in the woods. Your dog eats what you give it. If they ate only the things that they foraged for, it would be different. But dog poop is like human poop. It's just like filled with parasites and bacteria that's just not good. So actually putting it in the toilet would be great, but that's not really practical with, plastic. You can't do that. So, but no, it like human waste itself, it needs to be processed. And yeah.
Yeah, but you're right. It does cause like problems in neighborhoods and stuff. And I've just noticed in walking around my neighborhood and the parks that I go to is in the last couple years, there's been a lot of new signs saying, don't poop here, don't throw your poop here, pick up your poop. If you don't pick up your poop, this will happen. And it's like, what are we supposed to do? My dog has to take a shit and and I'll pick it up, but just like, there's so many signs everywhere. So it has become a hot topic.
Oh my God, I know. And the thing of it is everybody has more dogs. And I think, especially with COVID, like now I'm seeing more dogs in stores and more dogs in restaurants. And there are a lot of, what do you call them? Working dogs, emotional support dogs. So dogs are everywhere. And if we don't pick up their poop, then they're less welcome in places. So I feel like to keep the positive dog stuff going, like we have to like pick up their shit. And do it in a respectful way, because you're right. There's signs everywhere telling people to do it. And it's like come on.
Yeah, I agree. It's like, yeah.
They
like
can't do it themselves.
Yeah. Or like, why can't we have nice things? And it's because someone ruins. It's not like one person, but someone doesn't pick up, and then it kind of, it just makes people angry, and it leads to all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. It casts a pall on all the dog owners, because then you don't know who it does, who's doing it. In some communities, I think it's funny, they like take DNA swabs of all the dogs' poop, and then
I have heard of this.
I was like, whoa.
I heard of this. This is like a homeowners association kind of thing.
Yeah. And I know, it's wild. I'm like, that's hardcore, but
I guess they have to do what they have to do to enforce the rules.
I know. Fifi's poo is all right. Yeah. Yeah. A big old $250 fine you would definitely not just leave that.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Do anything crazy you can to figure that out. Okay. So speaking of your business, going from kind of fashion design and also being a stay-at-home mom, which is a full-time job, and then now working in the dog poop industry. Like, I know you said you never saw yourself working in this space, but what are some of the things that kind of stand out to you? I mean, it's such a niche, I think. And I don't know, what stands out as being great about this niche that you're in?
I think it surprised me, because I didn't realize it at first, but you're right. It is a niche, but it shouldn't be. I feel like years ago, you didn't even pick up after your dogs. Like your dog pooped and you're like, oh, my dog pooped. And then you were like, you take whatever plastic bag, and then they made plastic bags, and then they had holders for the plastic bag. And I feel like the Dooloop is the next upgrade to dog poop life. But
well, you're right. It's not really a niche, because everyone's dog poops multiple times a day. So it actually is something that every single dog owner is involved in.
Yeah, it is. But it's really funny, because in the business, why it's been really interesting and really fun, because I'm trying to sell a product that doesn't exist, meaning there's no noun to it. So it's, which I never realized at first. And I trademarked Dooloop, which if you turn it upside down and it's in lowercase, it still says Dooloop. So it's kind of like fun with words.
That's nice.
But it doesn't have it. You know what I mean? Like if you go on to things in your keyword search.
So what do you call it?
Well, I call it a Dooloop.
Okay. Obviously.
But it doesn't, you can describe it, but there's not like a glass or a plate, right, or a phone or a table, which can be anything, but.
Because I always tell people, I'm like, you need a holder for your full poop bags, because it's not a poop bag holder. It's a holder for your full poop bags.
Right.
And you need both.
Right. Right. And I'm working on one that actually does both. It's at the patent office, but yes, I don't mind putting empty bags in my pocket. I will not put full bags in my pocket. That's just a no. A hard pass. Yes. But yes, so that's been really interesting. And in the pet space, going to those super zoo or global and seeing all of the different, it's just wild to me how many products there are and how much innovation there is. And it's just been a lot of fun.
But there's not much in like this particular product.
No, I'm the only one in the 1 million square feet. Yeah, which is pretty wild. My little 10 foot by 10 foot. It's the only one there. And people have said there are a couple other things that do the same function, but they don't do it as easily. I tried them when I needed a Dooloop before Dooloops existed. I tried everything, and
Well, you're right. And there's I just got a poop bag holder at some event, and it has like a little clip kind of thing on the back of it that like could hold a bag, but it can only hold one bag, and it's like it's just not as good. It's not as good. It just isn't.
Yeah. Yeah. This, like I said, it holds a lot of shit.
Well, and as 2 Labradors, I need a high capacity poop bag holder.
Exactly. Those are not delicate. I know Lucy and Bert have their job to do.
Yes, exactly. They're good at their side of the business.
Exactly.
And I'm good at picking up their business, but we definitely need all the accessories that go with it.
Yeah, exactly. More than one. So you can enjoy a nice long walk.
Yeah. Well, so you had mentioned Super Zoo and Global and some other trade shows a couple of times. Are those have those been game changers for your business? Is it something that you will keep going to?
Oh, yeah. I'm looking forward to Super Zoo in August very much. That's just, it's just fun. It's just fun getting to meet people and getting to meet, the people with the stores. I've really focused on the independent stores so that people can shop locally and support their local mom and pops. So yeah, that's been really wonderful.
And we had talked a little bit before we hit record about content creation and dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
And how it's just like a whole other job that no matter what your job is, you have to kind of do this content creation. So, what are some of the challenges with that? Because it's just it's like the one product, right, that you have. Right. So how do you keep it fresh? And how do you take good photos of picking up dog poop? Like how are you dealing with this?
It is a struggle. It is a struggle. Yeah. How do you take a cool picture of dog poop? And, I'm still working it out. And also it's like, and it's small. The product itself is really small and it's lightweight, which is what you want it to be. So trying to get a photograph that focuses on it. Anyway, it's been fun. I've worked with a couple of professional photographers who have noodled through some. And then when I'm walking with Belle, I've got my phone in my hand and I'm trying to get anything that I can. And most of it's total crap. But it is. It's like a wild full first, could be a full-time job quite easily.
Well, there's all these like trending TikTok dances. Maybe we need to come up with a dance that's like the bend and snap, but it's like you bend over and pick up the dog poop.
Oh, I love that.
And then slide it onto the Dooloop or something. The bend and slide.
Right. That's awesome.
Or the stoop and slide. Maybe that's better.
The stoop and slide. Right. Oh, we'll have to work on that. I love that.
I'm a
love
big
that.
Legally Blonde and Reese Witherspoon fan, so I'll always find a way to work that in.
That's so funny because I literally just watched that like last week. You know, when you just need a movie that you just, it's
That
like
yeah, it's just going to be good and funny and light and yeah.
exactly. I was having too heavy a day, and I came up on the thing at Legally Blonde. I thought, I'm going to watch that. Yeah,
Yes.
Bruiser.
Oh
You
my
know,
gosh. Beth, yeah, you should get isn't Bruiser, is he a Chihuahua, I think?
he was like that little Chihuahua
Yeah.
dog, right? And she's like, Bruiser, everybody's going to love you. Like,
You need to get
Bruiser.
a Chihuahua to do the stoop and slide.
That's also funny because my daughter has another rescue that she's like a friend brought from Mexico that has all of it.
Here we go. All right, I'll participate. I don't know if I'll make it go viral, but I'll participate in the trending dance.
Yeah, I don't think anybody wants to see me dancing. I have to find some dancers. And actually, I'm going out to Seattle. I'm very excited. Mud Bay, one of the independents that I sell to and stuff like this, they're doing this whole thing for their employees. And so anyway, it's like a trade show, but without selling, just which is going to be, I'm really looking forward to that.
Oh, cool. Because you just to do the talking and get to know people. That's the best part.
Exactly. And I'm trying to figure out a game to do at the booth, because again, you're not selling. So it's like how to get somebody to do it. So I'm thinking maybe this dance thing
could be, or I just had an idea because I love, everyone in my world knows I just have too many ideas. The thought that just came to mind was like a pin the tail on the donkey. So if you had a Dooloop hanging and give someone a poop bag and blindfold them and spin them around, and then they have to find it and like slide the bag in.
Oh, that's good. I love. I know. I was one of my ideas, and it could well be improved about. I was like having a contest, like if I have like on the trade shows, they always say use citrus as stunt poop. Like worst case scenario, it's citrus. And like clementines.
Oh, like
and I thought
like
if
a
they
lime
could,
or something. Oh, okay.
yeah, and have them pick up as many poops and get it on a Dooloop as a race, like in
Yes.
15 seconds.
That'd be
I don't
funny.
know.
I like
But
that.
I like spinning around and seeing that you can still do it even dizzy. And
Yes. Blindfolded and dizzy.
blindfolded and dizzy. You can still do this.
Well,
Perfect.
whatever you end up doing, now I'm really curious what you'll have to share. Make sure you create some content and post about it.
I can use help. I will happily accept help on this one. Yeah. I know. I bought one of those little Pivo things and I'm like,
Oh yeah, that's like the tripod that follows you around and does stuff.
Yeah. Not me.
That it looks like a pretty cool tool, though, I have to say.
Oh, people do amazing things with all kinds of stuff. It's a user, what's that? User error or something like that. Yeah.
Well, that's okay. It's hard to be all things to everyone, and that's one of the challenges of running your own business.
That is one of the challenges. I know it's like so many hats, like one head. But I'm this bend and snap thing. Now you've just got me on a thought train.
I mean, I don't know. I'm like just picturing like, I do this many times every single day is bend over and fill up a bag. Yeah.
Right. No, that's so funny. And something very exciting too that just happened. Queer Eye, Bobby Burke.
Yes.
I love that group. It's like nice people doing nice things for nice people.
They're wonderful.
They're great. He put the Dooloop on Twitter.
Oh,
I know.
And there's a whole new season right now of Queer Eye. So they're getting all this promo.
I know. And he made those frat guys clean up their own mess. I love that.
Yes, I saw that.
You go, Bobby. That'll be more meaningful. But yeah, so that was really fun. But I don't know like how he found out about it. So this is it's interesting finding out how people find out about products, what so the trade shows have been wonderful for that. But other times stuff comes just totally randomly. And I'm always fascinated by that.
Yeah. I guess it's being in like the independent shops in different cities, and maybe Bobby saw it there somehow.
Yeah. I have no idea. I was just super excited.
That's very
so
cool.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm very excited about that.
Well, Beth, it's been so fun talking to you. It seems like we could go on and on brainstorming all day long. But this episode has to come to an end. So if you could tell my listeners, where can they get their paws on a Dooloop and learn more?
If you want to find out if your local store has it, if you go to the dooloop.com, there's a store finder and you can see if you can shop and at your local store, and that would be wonderful. If you can't, you can order them directly online at the dooloop.com. And yeah, I think that's probably the best thing to do.
You're so wonderful. I love that your first thing is, use the store locator to shop local. And then second choice is buy directly from you.
Yeah. Well, I feel like, I love doing the wholesale, and I love meeting all these wonderful people, and they know their customers and they talk to them. And it's kind of like making a bigger pie and supporting, when we were all in our hidey holes over COVID, you really missed just getting out and being able to look at things and stuff like that. So yeah. Anyway.
Get out there, go to the local store and strike up a conversation while you're at it, I guess.
Yeah. You find all kinds of cool things at these places.
Exactly. Well, thank you.
But you didn't know you needed.
I know. I know. I was going to say anytime I go to the pet store, but honestly, anytime I go to any store, I find all kinds of things that I never knew I needed.
Exactly.
Well, thank you so much, Beth. Thanks for sharing your story and your time. And this was a really fun conversation.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Some of the best conversations happen after the episode. Send me a note on Instagram at wearwagrepeat, or find even more women petpreneurs to connect with in our private Facebook group called Wear, Wag, Repeat Labs. If you want to dig into more episodes, resources to grow your business, or find a link to something we discussed, it is all right there for you at wearwagrepeat.com. I'll see you back here next Wednesday for a fresh conversation.